Bruce's big call. Dinar Intel Tuesday night December 31, 24. Bruce's big call. Dinar Intel Tuesday night December 31, 24. Transcribed by Wiser, now emailed to recaps. Welcome everybody to the big call tonight. It's Tuesday, December 31st, New Year's Eve, and you're listening to a special big call tonight. And I want to just welcome everybody. And thank everybody that's been listening for 13 years to the big call. Some of you might be new, some of you might have been listeners for quite a long time. I want to let you know that Bob, who is our third co-host, won't be on the call tonight. We miss him, but he also said to wish everyone, in Big Call Universe, a very happy and prosperous new year in 2025, so we echo what Bob's thoughts are, so let's go ahead and pray the call in. As far as Intel goes, we're in a really good place right now. I wanted to do a fairly short call tonight because I know people are kind of wanting to celebrate New Year's Eve and maybe watch Rocking New Year's Eve or some other show and watch the ball drop and all that good stuff. Well, that's cool too. But at 1 minute to midnight, Eastern Time tonight, 1 minute before midnight, and Gesera and Nasara get into being. They actually activate and start 1 minute before midnight tonight, so that the entire New Year starts off in Nasara and Gesera. That means, what we've heard is we should have, I'm going to say, we're supposed to have an announcement globally on New Year's Day tomorrow about Nasara and Gesera. I don't know who's going to make it. Don't know when it's going to be, just keep your eyes open, and if it happens and you catch it, great. That's cool. That's big. Nasara includes, our new currency, which is also part of Gesera, are all new worldwide currencies that are asset-backed, which all of them are supposed to be, by now, have an asset-backed currency. Backing it by gold, silver, precious metals, in the case of Zimbabwe, precious gems and diamonds and stuff sound. In the ground could be backed by oil, natural gas, intellectual property. All kinds of these assets, most of which are commodities, will back our currency. We have a lot of gold backing our currency, but we have other assets that are also in the mix to back our currency. Now we're looking to have a brand new USTN, the United States Treasury note, no longer Federal Reserve notes, and we're going to have those coming out fairly soon. We're supposed to have Nasara and Gesera revealed to us in the first 10 days of January. Well, tomorrow's the first. I don't know if they'll mention anything specific, or whether we'll get an emergency broadcast system, an EBS announcement tomorrow. It would seem that that would be a global announcement, because this is a worldwide new activation called Gesera, Global Economic Strategic and Recovery Act, Nasara, National Economic Strategic and Recovery Act. That's us. That's the US. So we're going to have to keep an eye on that and see how that all comes together. But guess what's included in Nasara for us here in the States? Restitution and Reconciliation Allowance. We used to say Reclamation Allowance. I think the term they prefer is Reconciliation Allowance, Restitution and Reconciliation Allowance. That is happening. We're also going to get an increase in Social Security for those that are on Social Security, and it'll be a significant increase. Not a cost of living allowance, not 5% or 3% or whatever it's going to be substantial. It'll be a really big amount. And so that's going to be happening. And of course, R&R is going to be big. And I'll just review quickly R&R if you're 60 and older, and you get it as a lump sum payment to you. And if you're receiving Social Security now, you have an account that's tied into that. So you can get it direct deposited every month, usually the first, the second, third or fourth Wednesday of the month. Some people get it earlier than the Wednesday of the month. They get it on the Saturday preceding. The other thing is, the people that are youngest, and I'm going to say the starting age 30 to 45, that's when it starts 30 years old to 45, in that 15-year age group. Those people will receive their R&R paid to them monthly over 3 years. So 12 times 3 is 36, 36 payments that will come to you monthly in some form or fashion of a bank account. Now let's go to the next group. The next group is 45 to 60. That's Group 2. Group 2 will receive their R&R over 2 years. So 12 times 2 is 24, that's 24 monthly payments of your total R&R divided by 24, and that's what you'll get if you're 45 to 60 in that group. And then, of course, like I said, anything 60 and older received at a lump sum payment, not from Social Security, but in a similar way that you receive your Social Security. That's a direct deposit, lump sum. One payment, lump sum. That's it. So that's really going to be interesting for those of us who are in the currency, especially those that are in the dim. It's going to be nice. It's not going to make or break us, but it's going to be nice to have it. Now, let's go into just a couple of things about the Redemption Center, when we get notified. I haven't even talked about that yet. Have I? We are supposed to be notified tomorrow, 1st of January, in our emails and set our appointments either tomorrow or Thursday, which is the 2nd of January. Now, reason I don't know it is because it was brought to us in the context that the email should tell us when we are to call to set our appointments. When, day and time, it may start slightly so that everybody doesn't call in immediately. It should be in the email as to when to call, so pay attention to that. And that way you can call and set your appointment, and the thinking is based on yesterday and today. That we would receive that email call and set our appointment and start exchanges on Thursday, January 2nd, so we could get notified tomorrow. It's possible we could also get notified on Thursday and set our appointment. And I'm going to say it right now, even though we expect to receive that and go in for our appointments and do our exchanges, it's quite conceivable that we will have a true celebration call on Thursday night. That's Thursday, January 2nd. I think we would probably like to do one. So just a heads up, so I try to give you guys a heads up so you can plan if you want to do that. Alright, so we know the redemption centers. We know that the staff, the leadership and the staff of the redemption centers are going in Thursday, 9 a.m. on the 2nd to be ready for us at 9:30 at their desks. So that shows us a fairly early morning start for what we're expecting. And then we'll go right through Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. We'll go right on through and get pretty far into the month of January. I don't know if it will go through the 14th, 15th, 19th, 20th, we don't know. But it will go as long as it needs to be, as long as there are appointments for the demographics. For that area, there are only two things that you're going to do when you call. Initially the 800 number. You could get an AI voice, you could get a human being, or you could get both. But when you call in, you give them your name and your zip code that you want to where you live. Or where you work or where you know you're going to be for an exchange. They'll find you the closest redemption center to that zip code and direct you to a live person, hopefully, if not an AI voice that will handle the rest of your call. And so that would be good setup. You'd want the directions SD to where it is so you can plug it in your GPS, or whatever you know. You want to know exactly where it is. You want to notice a set time. Appointments are supposed to be scheduled 40 minutes apart, 40 minutes. They don't want to take more than 30 or 40 minutes to do your hold appointment, and that's a lot to get done in that period of time. If you have bonds, sheet bonds, or a box or two of sheet bonds, let them know that so that they can make the allotted extra time you would need to go through and verify those bonds. Okay, just be aware of that. Alright, let's see what else can we talk about regarding okay. Step 1. When you go in and you're welcomed into the redemption center is when you sit down, you'll be introduced to a few people, and you'll pony ID. Photo ID, driver's license, or student ID, government ID, whatever you've got. Pony that up so they can see, and then they'll know, yes, this is who you are. We know of you. We don't know of you, whatever. And they'll be able to get started, but at that time you'll sign a non-disclosure agreement so that anything you witness there stays private. How long will the NDA last? It could last 30 days. It could last 6 months. They're going to depend on how you comport yourself. How you speak and how you handle yourself. Just how sharp you seem to be from their perspective. Okay, so an interesting thing for all of us to know whether we're going to get the lowest NDA period of 30 days. Or whether we could go as high as 6 months. Alright, now that's what I wanted to tell you about the Redemption Center experience I haven't really talked about before. Let me say, if there's anything else regarding the Redemption Center, I think I went through it in pretty good detail last Thursday. So if you haven't heard that call, pick it up before this recording is over and send up to be picked up by the replay number or replay link. Okay, so really, that's what that is. Now, Sue, anything else that we talked about if you're still listening, anything else that we talked about earlier that needs to be spoken and covered by night, you may be stepped off. Okay, that's fine. What's really important, go in, you've got everything that you need. Take a couple of blue writing pens, blue ink writings, that way, you've got an authentic personal signature. On documents that you can tell what the originals are because it's blue ink, not black ink, that when you copy it with a photocopier, it looks the same as the original. This way you've got your original document signatures in blue ink. So take a couple of blue Bic pens, or other writing pens that you like that you can take in with you. Some redemption centers are sharp enough where they have those, but I'm not sure that that's going to be the case everywhere. So you might want to bring your own pins, just so that you can keep your authorized signature apart from any copies that would be made to you. Let's see, what else do? When it comes to the med bed, Sue, was there anything else? We had a couple of things you and I talked about med beds. There was something else that I just covered, the idea of blue pens, NDA. Talked about that. Was there anything else? Otherwise, I'm going to finish up my intel. Be aware of that's how they're going to introduce the med bed, by referral, personal referral, and eventually the word will get out public. Find out about it, the public at large. But right now, who are the people they're most interested in? ZIM holders, people with projects, people that have dire health needs. Why ZIM? Because ZIM is obviously going to create a lot of wealth. They want you to be living long enough if you have projects that will go 100,000, 200, or 300 years to be around to see those projects through to fruition. So that's what they'll be able to do by putting you in the med bed. So it's all good, and I'm excited about it now. I've told you that it's quite possible we will have our notifications tomorrow, New Year's Day, and be able to set appointments for Thursday, 2nd of January. Whether we can't set them until January 2nd, I don't know. Not going to be the case, but we'll find that out when we get the emails, the instruction sheet in the email as to what we can say. Alright, I want to thank Sue for doing a wonderful job for the big call. I think it sounds like one more call Thursday, which would be a celebration call. If the information we're getting is coming through for us, every reason to believe we are going to get this next 2 days by Thursday, starting Thursday. Now we'll stay on top of it. Guys, enjoy your New Year's Rocky meat. Enjoy the Rose Bowl watching in the morning in Pasadena, California. That's always fun. All that, and we're going to have a great celebration. Call Bob on Thursday night. This is our pre-celebration. I just had so much intel to give you guys. Let me think it's anything else I can tell you. Very important about a contract rate for the Dinar at the Redemption Center. I found out last night that we have to ask for a contract rate at the Redemption Center. They have a very good rate, but it's about a third of what it would be at the contract rate. They have a very good rate on Dinar, and if you don't ask for the contract rate, you'll get that other touch screen rate at the Redemption Center, going to blow away the rate at the bank. Don't even go to the bank. Forget it, but they want people to have projects to get the highest in our rate, which is the contract rate. Doesn't mean you have to sign a contract or aim for it. It just means that it's a special rate that's being given to people with products that want to do things to benefit humanity. So I'm going to ask for, we're all going to ask for, may I please have the contract rate on question mark. That's it, and they'll be more than obliged to extend that to you. That was one thing that was different. We did say it that way before. We said they would offer it. Well, they'll offer it. After you ask for it, must ask for the contract rate under norm, and it's 3 times or more higher than the rate that would be on the normal front screen at the Redemption Center. And Dawn is moving up in value, and it will also increase a little bit more. It's in a really range, and you should all be very thrilled with what that Redemption Center rate is on the Dawn. So that's what I wanted to say tonight. Let's pray the call out, and then we'll look forward to having a great time at midnight. Remember Nasara, Gesera all kick in at 1 minute to midnight, Eastern Time tonight, as we transition into the 1st of January, the new year. Listen to the full version on the official DinarReport.com website and become our supporter on Patreon. Source: Dinar Recaps.